Minecraft 1.19 has come out, and now you're probably looking for some pretty cool mangrove swamp seeds, and that is why I'm going to be showing you some in today's episode. And that is why I have selected the 6 best ones I could find and compiled them in this video. So stick around and find out what the seed for this island is. Right here we have seed number 1. And now right before we get in, there's a few things that I want to say. Number 1, you have the red pillar in every world. This pillar indicates the exact spawn point, so where you will spawn. Now do note that that the spawning is never exact, and that you can spawn about 5 blocks to the left, 5 blocks to the right, to the front, to the back of this pillar. So you will spawn in like a small radius of this pillar right over here, and there we go. I will show you the seeds at the end of the showing of every map, and they will also be listed down in the description, and you can find them with chapters as well at the bottom of the video. Anyways, this first seed is a pretty cool one. For you OG Minecraft Bedrock players, you might remember the seed Survival Island. It was a really cool seed, and it was just one island, and if you were try hard, then you would try and only stay on that island for the entire playthrough. Anyways, this is sort of a survival island, but then with a jungle biome and a mangrove swamp biome, two of the rarest biomes out there. In addition to this, you can fly over here, and there is a somewhat shattered savanna. It's not huge, but this does happen to be my favorite biome. It is the lush green savanna. As you can see, it's a savanna biome with these savanna trees. However, the grass is a very beautiful green color, and so are the trees themselves. As you can see, it spreads quite far over in this direction as well, where the jungle and the mangrove swamp biome from the island over there are briefly continued. As you can see, the jungle biome, as it has a bamboo forest biome as well as the jungle edge biome. So that's all those cool biomes in there, and the jungle biome is huge and eventually continues into more mangrove swamps, as you can see right over here. Now if you're wondering exactly where all this is, then you can just take note of my coordinates in the top left. There's also some pretty cool 1.18 caves over there. I didn't see that before, but I did now, so that's pretty cool. And now we can just fly back to exactly where the island is and where you will spawn. Here we go. Now the seed for this, which can also be found down in the description, is loading right now. That seed is right over here. I'm not going to read that out because I don't want to, but you can copy and paste it from the description. Also, do you like this? These are rainbow colored buttons, as well as a custom background as well. If you want that, then, well, I made this texture pack myself, and you can download it through the description. For the ones of you wondering, this is what the custom background looks like. So in the next seed, you spawn right over here, again next to the jungle biome right here, very close to spawn. And then down over here, you have some 1.18 caves to explore. That's all right next to spawn, and the mangrove swamp is a bit further away, but if you travel a bit further away from spawn, you'll find the biggest mangrove swamps biome we've probably seen in this entire video. It stretches on for hundreds and hundreds of blocks. As you can see over here, there's a beautiful river in it too, which means it is traversable by water, and you get these cool generating mangrove trees in the water as well. And flying off through this mangrove swamp, which is absolutely huge, you will find a desert village, which is almost completely, if not actually completely surrounded by the mangrove swamp. It's very cool. It's just one little desert biome which happens to have a village generated on it. The village is abandoned, but it does also have a ruined portal right down there, which is great. And then flying past that, the mangrove swamp continues on again for miles and miles. In the next seed number 3, you will find yourself spawning in a bit of a forest area with some really nice terrain to build on. We have a very grizzly flat area of land with nothing on it over there. Some very cool caves, some dripstone caves down over here, again right next to spawn. And going off in this direction a little bit, as you can see, a lot more of those epic caves. These caves and those caves both connect underground as well. It's all really epic. Then flying off in this direction, which you can find through my coordinates on the screen, we find a beautiful mangrove swamp, not quite as large as the first one, but still pretty gigantic, as you can see. And now the special thing about this mangrove swamp is that it has a perfect border with a regular swamp. As you can see right over here, it borders with a regular swamp, and this swamp also has a witch hut right over there, perfectly ready for a witch farm to supply you with a bunch of nice resources. And now both of these biomes stretch out for quite a large distance as well, as you can see. Seed number 4, you spawn right here in a desert, and on the horizon we have a little bit of a desert village. Nothing much. In the other direction, as you probably already saw, we have a mangrove swamp. And now this is very cool, also pretty special, you know. A mangrove swamp connecting into a desert is probably not something you will find all the time. The mangrove swamp continues out quite far, as you can see over here, until it meets with a river which goes through the desert and connects into the ocean. Also in this direction, it continues quite a distance over there. In the smack bam middle of this area, we have a ruined portal with a few golden blocks, and it is sadly not completable, but with a few blocks of obsidian it is. You have a few starter tools as well, golden pickaxe, golden sword, to get you started if you want to get a quick bit of a start off in this world. However, an easier alternative to that may be something which you haven't seen, and that is right over here on the border with this area. We have a hidden desert temple over here. Here's another part of that desert temple. As you can see over here, and here is the top of this desert temple, which is right on the border between these two areas, hidden very well, and I'm pretty sure it would make a pretty cool base. Anyways, I can show you the loot inside the chests. um, whenever you load up this world on your own with the seed in the description, then the loot will be the exact same, as that was a change implemented in 1.17.31. The loot in chests was no longer random, but was fixed with the creation of a new world / seed, which is pretty cool. Anyways, that was seed number 4 for the next seed. Just so happens to be the 5th seed I'll be showing you today, and to be honest, this is probably my personal favorite. You spawn right here in the middle of this this biome over here, this mangrove swamp biome, and you know, the reason I like this is because it's a bit of a mashup between all of the previous seeds we've had. So you spawn right over there. Right next to here is a ruined portal. It's not really completable, but you can check out the chest because it has a god apple, notch apple, enchanted apple, whatever you want to call it, in there, which is very nice. And then really in all directions we've got a mangrove swamp. So in this direction from that main island, we have a little bit of mangrove swamp, and also a very tiny bit of that lush green savanna I was talking about, which, by the way, I'm not sure if I mentioned it, is my favorite biome, and it's also very rare. The lush green savanna continues over here, as you can see, into a bit of a broken up savanna, which is absolutely epic, and along the coast over here, we have a continuance of the mangrove swamp seed, which then merges into a jungle. So immediately you pretty much have 3 of the rarest biomes in the game, all pretty much at spawn. We have a jungle temple here as well. We can check out the loot we get with this too. Just a bit of iron and gold, nothing much, I believe. Is there also a chest here? Or is that not the case? To be honest, I'm not really sure. Anyway, that's the loot in that chest. We can head out of here again. Anyways, this is just like the jungle temple. It's in the middle between the 2 biomes. However, it's not really hidden. Also, there's a river that runs through the mangrove swamp, and the river that goes through it continues quite far back. Probably a lot more far back than you would expect. As you can see, it almost goes around the actual jungle biome over here, closing it in, and it also merges slightly into the shattered savanna biome, creating you this really cool phenomenon right over here. Some floating clay. Anyways, this is really cool. Definitely my favorite. Definitely my favorite seed. I'm gonna be using this, I think. And now, last but definitely not least, we have seed number 6, which, as you can see, is sort of the same thing as we've had this episode. You have the mangrove swamp over here. You spawn exactly in the middle of it, or well, pretty much in the middle of it. Continuing over this direction, we have this cool tree on top of the mountain, and we've got some, I believe this is the meadows biome, which is new in Minecraft 1.18. We've got some pretty nice caves, and over in this direction we have the jungle biome, which is pretty small, as you can see, but it stretches a little bit in that direction, and it is with the mangrove swamp biome, which, by the way, as you probably just saw, there's a second one right over here, as well as the jungle biome that gets continued. And overall, I think this is really cool. However, that is definitely not it. You got some really cool more terrain over there. As you can see, a village too. Now also, this isn't actually the biggest mangrove swamp over here you've ever seen, which you spawn in, but this really actually inspired me because I would love to create a base here which just took in the entire mangrove swamp biome. And then, like, you know, just create a base, and then don't ruin the biome, and build the base, like, around the biome, if you get what I mean, like through the trees and stuff like that. And because it isn't that big, you could utilize the entire biome very well. I'm pretty sure that's a bug, is it? If I was flying up here, and I thought those were frogs, but no, it's just the lily pads, which textures are flickering. Anyways, I've also looked pretty much this direction the entire time. And that is because in the other direction, we've got some more shattered savanna. Oh yes, now I look quite a lot like a doofus now because I've been bragging about how rare these biomes are. All throughout the episode, it's only been, this is the rarest biome, you know, you spawn next to 3 of the rarest biomes, and the thing is they're in pretty much every seed. Well, that is because, you know, it's the climate of the biomes, and these biomes happen to spawn together. And that is why it's definitely worth looking around. For example, if you find a mangrove swamp or a shattered savanna, to see if there is a shattered swamp or a shattered savanna nearby, or a jungle biome, or something like that. These also have a huge chance of coral reefs spawning next to them. This isn't a deep ocean though, so there won't be one here, but there is also a huge chance of those spawning there as well. Anyways, those were all 6 of the seeds, and now I want you to go down to the comment section and let me know which one of these is your favorite. Yes, as I already said, mine was definitely number 5, but number 5 did also definitely have to put up a fight with number 6, because this one is really cool as well. Anyways, thank you ever so much for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next one. Bye-bye. Oh yeah, and also if this video gets like a few likes, then I will probably also make a seed video, but then for the deep, dark biome. Anyways, bye-bye.